Hi, I'm Professor Miller, and I'm going to show you how to create a histogram using Microsoft Excel. I'm using this data about the box office of the movie that won the Best Picture back to about 1978. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and put this data into a new worksheet. So if you open a new tab at the bottom here, Uh, I'm just going to put my data in this new tab like that. The problem specifies using class boundaries starting with 0 to 49.9. The next one would start then at 50. You can see why it doesn't specify going from 0 to 50, because you wouldn't want it to go from 0 to 50, the next one to go to 50 to 100, because then where would you put a 50? So then this one would go up to 99.9 to maintain equal class widths. Uh, Excel can do something really nice for you. It has a feature called autocomplete. If I just drag this down, I notice that the largest data value is about 600, a little more than 600. So Excel completes the rest of the classes for me. Isn't that wonderful? Now comes the hard part. You have to count how many of the values are in each interval. Well, it would certainly help to put the numbers in order first. So I'm going to select the numbers. To sort, you go to the data option in the menu and sort. Sort what's in column A from smallest to largest. Okay, there it is. So between 0 and $49.9 million in box office, there were 5 movies. Okay. There's a fancy way to do this using something called COUNTIF, but that's beyond the scope of this demonstration. I counted these before, so I know there are 5, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. Let's see, how many movies were there? Well, there's two ways to figure that out. If I want to add up all these numbers in Excel, you can type equals sum, a little formula, and select the ones that you want to add up, close the parentheses, and that gives you 37. Another way would be to use the count command. So if you press equals and then count, select all the data, close the parentheses. That's 37 too. Perfect. Now you know that I don't want to graph the frequencies. In this class, we'd prefer to use relative frequency. Uh, if I told you that 5 students in my class got an A, well, you'd need to know how many students were in the class to know if that's good or bad. So relative frequency is the frequency of the class divided by the total. See how I'm doing that with a little formula? Uh, so I just put equals, then I selected the frequency of that first class, divide by the 37. The benefit of that is I can just copy that and paste it and get all the other ones really quickly. There's a little problem though. Excel will dynamically update, which I want for the frequency. The next one I want to be F5. I do not want it to dynamically update that total. I want that to be anchored. To anchor it, you can use dollar signs before you copy it, and now that one won't change when I copy. So I select that, copy and paste. There you have all the frequencies for the various intervals. We'd prefer to have percents. So you can go to Format Cells. I right-clicked, Format Cells to Percentage. I'll just use whole numbers to 0. Those are the numbers that we are going to create the graph with. So they're already selected. You need them to be selected going into this. You want to click on Insert, and they have a variety of different charts. Insert a column chart. That's what we want to do. Perfect. Well, not really perfect, but it's a good start. Okay, so now we want it to look a lot nicer than that. I'm very picky about the title. It should be descriptive. The end user should know exactly what's being represented in this graph. Box office of Oscar-winning movies. Better. Next problem. This is not a histogram. That's a bar chart. To make it a histogram, the bars need to touch. It's a little tricky. See if it works for me. If not, you'll get a feeling for how tricky it is. So you click on a bar, double click on the bar, and then set the gap width to 0. So you want to get to this little menu that has gap width in it. Set gap width to 0. That's very slow. Beautiful. Only problem now, oh, a couple problems. Um, what's missing? Well, these numbers on the axis are not appropriate. I am going to use the midpoints because that's the way Excel, you can see the numbers are in the middle of the boxes. So if I compute the midpoint of each interval, I can put that in the middle. So add the 2 up, divide by 2. That's a number that's halfway between the top and the bottom of each class. Okay. Right click, select data. I want to fix the horizontal axis. Edit the horizontal axis numbers. I'm going to use these. Lovely. Okay. Let's see. Almost done. Only other thing I need here is axis titles. Wonderful. Uh, dollars, millions. So you want the units of measure on the axis title, not class boundaries or classes, anything like that, generic. We want something very specific, and this will be relative frequency. What's the shape of this histogram? We can see the shape is skewed to the right. Remember, the shape is defined by the position of the outliers, the weirdo. That's that $600 million box office. I think that was Titanic. I'm not sure though. Okay, let's see. Well, from that, we would predict that the mean is higher. The mean is greatly affected by the outlier more so than the median. And all I want to do to finish is compute the mean. Excel has a command for that. Unfortunately, they use the word average. I avoid that, but I will do what Excel likes. We should round that to 2 digits of accuracy, but it's not an issue here because it comes out at $127 million. And we could compute the median. We could do the two-step process where we find the position of the median and then the median itself. Excel also has a command to find the median. And yes, the mean is larger than the median. That's my example. Hope you enjoyed it.